gangsters. I don't know what this world is coming to.
From the Blackbird Studios in sunny North Cambridge, it's the Rave X 10-minute podcast. And now, Rave X.
What the fuck is going on? It's your boy Rave X. Remember me? Yeah, I'm back, man, after a long hiatus from podcasting. Although I did put out a really good song. I'm a little bit biased, but I think it was a really good song called Scythe V6 or Proto Mythic Devil Trigger. I'll accept both titles. I don't care. Yeah, they were renovating my apartment. I had to move out. I'm back now in the Blackbird Studios 2.0. It looks really nice, but whatever. So today, I want to talk about video games. A couple of games came out that I really like. Ghost Recon Wildlands came out, which is an open-world sandbox. Customize your character, team up with a few friends, get your guns going, and take over a drug cartel, or as I like to call it, America helping the less fortunate in a video game format. Anyway, there's another game that came out that I just got a couple days ago called Mass Effect Andromeda, and I waited on getting this game because I heard a lot of bad shit about it, and I just want to talk about, is it bad? Is it good? I don't know. There's a shit ton of other reviews out there, but none of which come from your boy, Rave X. So let's get started. So unless you've been living in a cave for the past 10 years, there's a trilogy of games out there called Mass Effect. They were pretty good, kind of like role-playing games in space with a little shoot-'em-up in there. And as the games went on, they became more sort of shooters. And I think that Mass Effect Andromeda, it's more back towards story-oriented, more RPG, a lot of cutscenes. I'm not crazy about cutscenes, man. I don't know why the programmers waste their time with all these cutscenes, because I always just fucking skip them. I really don't care about the story. But there's a new character. It's not Shepard anymore. It's a guy named something Ryder. I always name my character Rave X, whatever. So there's like hours you have to play until the game really starts getting going, until it really starts getting good. I played last night for about 5-6 hours before my guy was kind of unleashed on the universe to go do whatever it is that he's doing. Before you get that cool car, looks like a tumbler, like a futuristic Batman Begins tumbler. But it's a real slow burn, man, and a lot of people don't like that. I don't like that. I wish you could just jump in. I don't really care about the story or how he gets to where he is, but he's the reluctant hero, and they choose him to be the new Pathfinder, whatever the fuck that means. I'm not sure. I don't know gay slang, so he's the new Pathfinder, whatever. So first thing I want to get to is the graphics. Sometimes it looks really good, and sometimes it looks like a port, you know, like back in the day when they would port over an Xbox 360 game to the Xbox One, and it didn't look as sharp. And there are other times where the cutscenes look really good and really sharp. So the graphics are kind of, you know, it's not bad. I'm going to give the graphics a 7. The sound I really like. The explosions were really good. I'm running it through a Sony 5.1 surround sound thingy. That's not the best, but not the worst. So I thought the sound was actually pretty good. We're going to give the sound a 7 out of 10. The story, like I said, I don't pay attention too much to the story of Mass Effect. I know a lot of people, you know, they watch all the cutscenes, they make all the decisions. You always have this option in Mass Effect to sort of do a mean decision, like punch the guy in the face, or to do a nice decision, like shake his hand. I always just try to be a dick half the time. You know, I try to, you know, emulate real life. What would Rave X do? WWRX, I guess. I don't know. So you can make decisions, but I really didn't feel like they meant anything. So I just hit X to make whatever decision I need to make. But if you're an RPG fan and you like the story, you want to be really sort of immersed in it, you do get to, you know, play however you want to play, which is all right. And of course, it's the same as the other Mass Effects, where you have your team members and they, you know, ask you questions and you either kind of sympathize with them or you say shit like, you know, war's tough. We had to make that decision. Or you say, he was a good man and he'll be missed. I feel like none of it really matters. So the story altogether, you know, I've only played for about 7 hours, and like I said, 4 to 5 hours of that was just getting to, you know, where you need to be. A lot of it's kind of the tutorial, and I hate these tutorials. Like I said, you know, they start you off and it's like, move the left stick to look around. Nigga, listen, I know how to look around, all right? I don't need a tutorial to tell me how to look around. But you know, that's how games are, because as Stan Lee once said, every video game is someone's first video game. But I think he said comic books. So they have to do that little, hit this to fire. Okay, fine. There's a cover system, which I really didn't like, because there's no button to snap to cover. I think the Ghost Recon series does the best sort of cover system, or Gears of War, where you hit A and you slide to cover. This kind of has like an auto cover system that didn't work for me a lot of the times. Like, you're in a gunfight, and you walk up to like a wall, but that wall is a little too short for you to take cover, so your guy doesn't crouch automatically, and you just keep getting shot. Then you have to run off to another thing that you can take cover behind. That was kind of stupid, and I don't know how that passed the test, the beta stage of this game, because when you're in a gunfight and you can't take cover, or you're standing in front of something that the programmers don't deem cover-worthy, that's really annoying. You just keep getting shot. But I realized that if you run to cover, like if you sprint to cover, you'll slide into it. And so it takes a bit of getting used to, but there is a cover system. Also, you can't crouch, which I think is stupid. I hate games where you can't crouch or jump, which brings me to the next point. There's a new sort of jump jetpack system where you jump with A and you can shoot to the left or to the right with the B button, which I thought was really cool. Also, if you jump in the air and aim, you kind of hover in the air for a while, which I thought was a nice touch. Kind of taken right out of Halo. If you played Halo 5, they have that sort of jump and then dash to the left or right. So it's a complete sort of rip-off or homage to the Halo series. So there's a little bit of Halo in there if you like that. Halo's okay. I always buy it, and then I'm always like, whatever, I don't care about this game. But it was kind of a welcome change to have more maneuverability. That's a tough word to say. When you're playing the game and when you're shooting. But again, I really wish there was a sort of solid, concrete snap to cover. And, you can blind fire over cover and you can pop in and out of cover. But it's not an exact science. So gameplay, I'd give it a 7 because the guns I thought were really good. I mean, the problem with the old Mass Effect, I went back a few months ago when they made Mass Effect backwards compatible, and the gunplay was just horrible. It was like pew, 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 and like you feel like you're aiming on the guy, but your character's not aiming on him, and it was kind of wonky and stupid. This is a lot more sort of, it's a lot more tactile. You really kind of feel the shots and you hear the shots, and that was really good. Going back to sound, the guns sound really good and they feel really good. And you've got your semi-automatic rifles, you've got your submachine guns, you've got that stupid gun they always start you with, which I hate. I always try to change the default gun that they give you in Mass Effect because it's stupid. And you've got your handgun and your shotguns. So that really worked out in Mass Effect Andromeda. Was they definitely upped the gunplay to make it more of a shooter, and less of just like a pew, pew, look at me, I've got a laser gun. So there was that. That was good. But I think the real fun with this game, because I didn't think the overall game was fun per se. It's Mass Effect. If you've ever played it, you know what you're getting into. And I think that what they tried to do was like a soft reboot, And every time they make these games, they add some stuff, they take out some stuff, kind of like Gears of War 4 that just came out a few months back, where it's definitely a Gears of War game, but they just add some stuff and touch it up, and it's almost like a reboot, right? So this was definitely a reboot for the franchise. I kind of felt like they're assuming that no one's ever played Mass Effect before, because, that first game came out like 8 years ago, and, you might have kids that were like 9 years old who maybe didn't play it, and now they're 16, 17, 18, and, they've got some money, and they're going to buy themselves a next-gen console. So this is Mass Effect for the next-gen console. I got to say, I expect a little bit more from it, but that's okay. Anyway, the real fun, I thought, was multiplayer. I love multiplayer games. I always dive straight into the multiplayer because I feel like, playing with real people is kind of where it's at. Now, it's not a competitive multiplayer. It's more of a horde mode, like Gears of War has horde mode and shit like that. And it's really fun. They give you a bunch of characters to pick from. You can totally customize your guy with the color and of his uniform and his suit and stuff like that. There isn't like a pick your helmet, pick your whatever. They might get to that. I only played for a little while, and I thought it was fun. I thought it was really fun to play with your buddies, and you're in one sort of stationary map. You get a wave of enemies, you take them out, wave gets harder. Like I said, just like Gears of War. So if you like multiplayer, definitely dive into that. It's fun. A lot of the complaints I heard about this game was like the facial animations and how the voice syncs up to the lips. And I heard so much bad shit about that, I don't know if it kind of tainted my view of that particular thing. I was playing last night, and I was trying to figure out if I didn't hear 150 million fanboys screaming that, the facial animation isn't good and the voice acting doesn't sync up. I don't know if I would have even noticed it. That's not something I notice. I thought the faces looked fine. Maybe the voices didn't sync up exactly, but I don't know. Does anyone care about this stuff? I mean, apparently they do. But is this, a first world problem? She didn't blink her eyes enough and the lips didn't move. Like, dude, who cares? Who cares? We have, amazing games on Xbox or PS4 and whatever, and it's amazing. It's like, you get to go to different planets in a fucking spaceship and drive around and shoot aliens in the face and get different guns. Now, I haven't gotten to this part yet, but apparently if you want to fuck people, you can fuck people. I know a lot of people play these games for that reason. I hear a lot of reviews where they're like, I just try to have sex with everyone. Yeah, well, good. Have at it. Do whatever you want to do. So, yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda. It's okay. It's not bad. Like I said, they do that slow burn thing. And I think the worst slow burn was Ubisoft tends to have a lot of really, you play for 5 hours and then you finally get your gun and shit starts getting going. I remember Assassin's Creed 3, which was one of my favorite Assassin's Creed. You played as a Native American, Connor. And that game was fucking ridiculous, dude, because you start off playing as his dad or his grandfather for 3 hours, and then you play as Connor at 9 years old for another 2.5 hours, and then you play as Connor as 18, 19 years old, and then finally when he's 21, and you feel like you've been with this character for that whole time, when he finally hits 21, you get your assassin's costume, and that was 6.5 hours into it before you finally get the Assassin's Creed game and it opens up. I don't know why they do that. Maybe they're trying to pad the runtime of the game because they feel like with AAA titles it has to be a 40-hour plus game. And that's what I think they kind of did with Mass Effect. It's got to be this big experience, and it can't be a 11-hour game or a 12-hour game where people complain. So they pad it with 5 hours of kind of just whatever, And anyway, my overall thoughts on Mass Effect Andromeda is try to get it used, $60. I was just whatever. But I traded in a couple of games, and I had one of those $5 off things. So I paid about $40 for it or whatever. And for $40, it was fun. It didn't take long to download, to download into the Xbox. There was an update that was a 2 gigabyte update that didn't take long. And I'm going to give you guys a little advice here. All these games now are, install the game, take the update. Here's a thing to help it go faster. Install the game. About halfway through it will say there's an update. Say no. Don't do the update while you're installing the game to your console, or you're not going to be able to fucking play it that night. You install that shit at 7. Maybe by midnight you get to play it. So don't take the update. Just install the game, and then start the game. It'll ask for an update. Then you do it. Then you have to go make yourself a sandwich or have a Jack and Coke or whatever. Maybe you roll yourself up a doobie, and you get high. You guys want to get high? Yeah, roll something up, pack a bowl, waiting for it to install the update, and just get high. But anyway, as I said, Ghost Recon Wildlands came out. That's a good game. I really like that. Super open world sandbox. A lot of people didn't like it because they think it's boring. You are running around Bolivia, which looks really cool. I've never seen a game this heavily detailed with the mountains and the people and all this shit. So pick up Ghost Recon Wildlands. And when you get sick of that after a month or two, go ahead and grab yourself Mass Effect Andromeda. I am going to give Mass Effect Andromeda a 7 out of 10. T-Money, what do we think about that?
Dude, that's all balls.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Anyway, as I said, there's a new song on YouTube from DNS Productions. Your boy, Rave X. It's called Scythe V6. Yeah, check it out, man. Maybe I'll leave a link in the description down below like I hear all the cool kids say. Check out that song, man. Update on the YouTube channel. Almost 1,000 views. So we're going to hit 1,000, man. We're going to have a fucking party. And if you want to download all this shit for free, I just set up a Bandcamp account under Rave X Music. This one time at Bandcamp. Oh, yeah, your boy RX is on Bandcamp now. I haven't put anything up there yet because I did it from work, so I just set up the account. But, definitely open that up in your browser. Bookmark that shit. It's ravexmusic.bandcamp.com. Let me say that again. ravexmusic.bandcamp.com. youtube.com. And I like this system, man, because you can charge if you want, but I'm not going to charge for anything. This stuff is free for you, the people. It's free. Anyway, my name's Rave X. This is the Rave X 10-minute podcast, video game edition, man. Mass Effect Andromeda, Ghost Recon Wildlands. Get out there and buy them. They're good games. And do me a favor, kids. Remember this. There are no more guns left in the valley. My name's Rave X, and I'm out of here.
That was the Rave X 10-minute podcast. Be sure to click like and subscribe. For podcasts, new music, and all things Rave X, go to youtube.com and search Rave X Music.